I still don't remember who Rebecca is. Back in 2011, my wife and I were living in Vancouver, Canada, and I was working for a small little company called DHX Media. We were making the kids' TV show My Little Pony! You may have heard of it. It was a really cool gig. My job was in layout, so I got to spend my day drawing Pinkie Pie in different poses like this, and even this! Ew. I'm not sure if you're aware, but My Little Pony is kind of a big deal. You can even find my name in the credits on Netflix. See, right here. In season 3, just down, you just got to scroll down like 10,000 names. It even made me famous. I now have my very own IMDb page, right next to Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Gosling and Meg Ryan and all the other Ryans. Maybe I should change my name to Ryan. You may be asking, what does this story have to do with losing my memory for 3 months? Well, nothing, really. But you have to admit, My Little Pony is pretty cool. Pinkie Pie. That's not her voice. Really, it had to do with a lady named Rebecca that I apparently worked with and saw every day at DHX. It all started when my family apparently flew to Canada from Australia to have a white Christmas. We apparently rented a cabin in Whistler, and we thought it would be a great bonding experience to go snowboarding with my father. Even though I haven't snowboarded since I was an 8-year-old boy, and now I'm a 38-year-old boy who is 6'2" and 120 kilos, that's 265 pounds, the same weight as 20 Canadian geese, or a female reindeer, or the exact weight of 5.3 average-sized domestic microwaves. And, in case you haven't guessed the obvious, it turns out that snowboarding is nothing like riding a bike, and it doesn't magically come back to you after 20 years. While my dad was happily gliding down the slopes 47 kilometers away, I was slowly, unhappily falling down the slopes over and over and over and over. And not your gentle, fluffy snow bouncing. It was hard, icy, 120 kilos on your head kind of bouncing.
Speaking of bouncing, your child will be bouncing up and down every month to get their hands on Envelope of Awesome. What is Envelope of Awesome, I might hear you ask? Well, it's an envelope, and it's awesome. Envelope of Awesome is a monthly subscription pack for kids, full of amazing, unique, creative activities designed to encourage creative thinking and confidence through cartooning and fun. Every envelope is specially designed by us and explores a new theme. Everything from dinosaurs to mushrooms. Wait, Cass, what if we make an envelope about mushrooms shaped like dinosaurs? Or dinosaurs who only eat mushroom-shaped food. Also, each envelope is hand-delivered to your door by our specially trained delivery flamingos. Now, back to the story.
When I finally reached the bottom, I had a headache, and I distinctly remember having trouble remembering where I had hired my treacherous snowboarding gear, including my useless helmet. But while painful and amusing to my family, this is not the day that I forgot my dearest friend, Rebecca. This was just the beginning. From here, we apparently had a lovely Christmas. We apparently built a snowman, went snowshoeing, ate a huckleberry, wore matching shirts, and built a gingerbread house. Apparently, it even snowed on Christmas morning. Apparently, it was magical. 1 week from this apparently amazing winter wonderland experience, I was back in our apartment with a wife. I had one. 13 years. Yesterday, I believe. No, the day before yesterday? Sorry. This is like unedited behind the scenes. I'll get back to the story. It's cool. Went flying in the air. No, I say head to get in my head and giant balls. 1 week from this apparently amazing winter wonderland experience, I was back in our apartment with my wife chatting about what we were apparently going to do that day. I was sitting on my giant gym ball chair facing away from my desk, and as I leant back, the supposedly indestructible fitness ball got caught on the edge of our newly unpacked suitcases and popped. I went flying into the air and hit the back of my head on the edge of my work desk. Did I mention that I'm 6'2" and weigh 120 kilos? That's 564 pounds, and I have a very large head. Apparently, I blacked out for a few minutes, and when I came to, I started to behave a little strangely. I mean, I always behave a little oddly, but this time it was like everything was in slow motion. I had a slight headache, and I very much wanted to vomit. Luckily, Cass calmly rang the nurse helpline. Unluckily, they suggested I might have a concussion, and I should go straight to the doctor. Luckily, we lived just 2 blocks away from the walk-in clinic. Unluckily, we were living in Vancouver and it was raining. It was always raining. Luckily, the doctor only had to look at me for 30 seconds. Unluckily, they said, I have to go to the hospital. Luckily, the hospital was only 2 blocks away. Unluckily, it's still raining. It was always raining. So Cass and I started walking once again, in the rain, towards the hospital. Apparently, I was very happy and started to slur my words and walk in a wiggly-woggly zigzag pattern. It took some time to convince the lovely triage nurse that I wasn't drunk or high, or both, and that I should probably see a doctor pretty soon. 3 hours later, some blurred vision and a splitting headache, I was diagnosed with a compound concussion. I was sent home with the knowledge that I was 1 inch away from being paralysed and would be a bit off for a while, but I would come good eventually. Luckily, I was between jobs at the time, and apparently spent my days watching Stargate and Mission Impossible movies, and answering multiple calls throughout the day, assuring my wife I was fine, even though I couldn't remember that she had called me 3 times already that day. I even invented a comic strip about a bear who forgot his pants, only to realise that he never wore pants. Perhaps this is an analogy for something. Anyway, there is a 3-month period of my life where I have little to no memories. It's all black, it's just gone. But it's okay. Apparently, I had a great time. Apparently, there's even photographic evidence of the aforementioned Huckleberry. But who is Rebecca? I hear you scream.
Who is Rebecca? What about Rebecca? What about Rebecca? Who is Rebecca?
I have no idea. I literally can't remember her. If you're watching, Rebecca, I'm very sorry. Apparently, a few weeks later, I started a new contract at DHX on My Little Pony. Did I mention it's a big deal? And on my first day, she came up to me and said, "Hi, Simon. I'm so glad we have you back on the team. We really missed you." Apparently, we worked together for months, and I talked to her nearly every day. But she is lost in my memory, along with the taste of huckleberries and Mr. Bear's pants.
I wonder what else I've forgotten. Wait, is my name actually Ryan?